say this. Listen to me. Even if God comes down into this service this morning and says to you, my son, I am going to bless you in such a dimension this year that eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. Sir, if you are not walking, 31st of January, December will meet you the same way the prophecy came. The works of your hands represent the container that will receive the blessings that God is talking about. A woman came to the prophet and said to the prophet, help me, help me, help me, for they have come to take my 2 sons to be bond servants. He said, what do you have in your house? She said, nothing. He said, if you have nothing, I can assure you that I can help you. Then the woman remembered and said, I have a little cruse of oil. You know what the prophet said? He said, go and gather vessels. The vessels here talks about capacity. Go and gather vessels. And then there was an instruction. Do not gather a few. Make sure you gather vessels commensurate to the type of testimony and miracle you want. He said to Peter, cast your nets. Sir, God cannot break his word. He cannot break his principles. The process is scriptural. You must follow the process. The Bible says, he becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hands. Poverty is a process. Prosperity is a process. The process to wealth is diligence. The process to poverty is idleness. He said to Abraham in Genesis chapter number 2, beginning from verse number 1. He said, come out from your father's house, for I am taking you to a land. If you give me verse 2 and 3. He said, thus, Genesis chapter 12, verse 1, 2, and 3. He says, come out from your father's house. Come out. He said, for I will make of thee a what? A great nation. This was God speaking to Abraham, mouth to mouth. I will do what? I will bless thee. This was God talking to Abraham. He says, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be what? A blessing. 3, 4, 5. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Verse 1, 5. So Abraham departed, as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abraham was 75 years old. You listen to me. You are not older than the blessing. The blessing is older than you. He was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. In verse 5, and Abraham took Sarah his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and all the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. Give me chapter 13, beginning from verse 1, 2. Now, they got into Canaan. He wasn't idle. And Abraham went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south, as the Lord had instructed. And Abraham was very rich in what? In cattle. Did the cattle fall from heaven? Oh, please help me with this sound, please. Did the cattle fall from heaven? Did the cattle fall from heaven? Abraham was very rich in what? He was very rich in what? He was very rich in what? He was rich in cattle. He was rich in silver. He was rich in gold. Abraham went into business. He went into business. He went into business. Abraham was in the business of cattle rearing. And they were buying cattle in those days with gold and silver. That's why he was rich in cattle, in gold, and in silver. Listen, sir. There is no other way Abraham would have received the promised blessings of Genesis chapter 12 without going into cattle rearing.